This is going to be a video on a game called Heist that I first wrote for the Commodore VIC-20 computer back in 1985. I will show you some screenshots and video clips of how the game has evolved through time. So let's get started. I was fortunate back in 1985 to have written the game and then sold it to Compute Magazine, and they published it in a book called VIC-20 Collection. And it was actually highlighted on the back cover as being a game that you might want to try out if you like maze games. It was basically a game where it created a maze and you started at the top and you worked your way down to the bottom. You had three levels, but if you blasted through a wall that was close to an alarm, it would go off and you had 30 seconds to get out of the rooms before you got caught. Now, the trick with computers back at this time was the memory. This shipped with only 5 KB, not 5 gigs, not 5 megabytes, but 5 KB of RAM, and 1.5 of that was used for video display and the dynamic aspects of the ROM. So you really only had about 3,500 bytes of basic memory in order to squeeze all this in to get a playable game out of it. Now let's jump about 35 years later after I retired, and I was taking a class on Unity by Wilmer Lynn on a Go board type turn-based game, and I came up with another version of Heist. I didn't carry this as far as I could have. I just kind of got the basic workings out of it and stopped working on it. And then you'll see that in the next clip of this was built on the Unity game engine. Now jumping up to about 2021, 2022, I came up with yet another version of Heist, and this I had a lot of fun building this. I used some of the Cinti assets from the Unity Asset Store, as well as some little characters by Lee Harris that he supplied for me, the little Weeble characters. And here again, you just run through the bank trying to collect as much money as you can and avoiding the police. And if you get within their eyesight, the alarm will go off. So this was a lot of fun to develop, and I had my nephew Trevor play it, and he had a blast doing it. This got a lot more involved. Once again, I used the Unity game engine on this one, and it had three different levels, and each level was different. The third level actually had like electronic eyes that would look back and forth like cameras. And here again, this was a very big step up from the other versions. Now for the latest version that I'm working on, it's more like a third person view of it where you can see the character moving around as well as the other NPC players out there. This is using the Unity game engine as well as Cinti assets. And I'm actually using Adventure Creator. It's a package out there that allows you to develop and write this without really having to need a lot of C# coding experience. Made it extremely easy, and I'll probably use this more often going into other games that I might try to develop. But this is the latest version of Heist, still under development. It's going to be a while before I actually get it in a releasable and a playable state. But I really like the way it's looking. It's got a little bit of different twist to it. This little ending scene here where he tries to get out the door and the lady guard is on her phone and she just automatically goes into position, not realizing that she has her phone in her hand. But here again, still under development. I hope you guys enjoy the way it's looking. I will let you know when it gets out there and playable, and I hope to see it sometime. Thanks again for watching.